A couple visited the St. Augustine Lighthouse on a quiet day with no tourists around. The husband took a picture. When they later reviewed it, they noticed something they hadn't seen at the time. A woman appeared to be sitting or standing on the tower's edge, yet they were certain no one else had been there. So who was she, and what was she doing there? According to legend, a painter once fell from the tower, and his widow, Maria Mestre de los Dolores, is said to return to the lighthouse. As the first Hispanic female lighthouse keeper, many believe she still visits to sit where her husband fell. But if both have passed by now, why would she still return to him? Wouldn't they already be together? 75-year-old Peter Paw had gone on a walk with family in Brancaster, Norfolk, when he suddenly went missing. After 24 hours of searching, there was still no sign of him, and hopes for survival were fading, until this moment. A police drone spotted him lying alone in the marshes, struggling in the water and desperately trying to get out. As soon as officers saw him, they launched a rescue mission. Navigating through the difficult terrain, the team finally reached Paw and brought him to safety. Without the drone's aerial search capabilities, the rescue could have taken days, time he likely didn't have. Thankfully, what could have been a tragedy turned into a successful mission. This Reddit user was outside late at night when he noticed something bizarre. A circular disc-like object hovered silently amidst the clouds. Was it a UFO or some rare atmospheric phenomenon? The object remained motionless for a while before vanishing into the night, leaving behind only questions. Grizzly Gaz, a YouTuber known for camping in wild and unusual spots, ventured back into a forest he had previously explored. This time he brought his dog. As he wandered through the misty woods, an eerie atmosphere surrounded him. Then, as he settled in for the night, he heard this.
Chill out. I don't feel like stopping here if there's shooting going on.
Gunshots echoing through the forest. Uneasy, he decided not to stay, but as he left, he noticed something strange. Moments later, he heard it.
And see, I start hearing stuff, but then when I stop and I breathe like that,
A blood-curdling scream, immediately followed by another gunshot. At first, he brushed it off, but later he updated his viewers, saying he had reported the incident to the police. Unfortunately, no further updates about the case have been shared. While hiking at Blackpool Beach in 2016, this woman decided to take a photo of her two sons. At first glance, everything seemed normal, until they looked closer. Between the boys' legs, an eerie figure can be seen lurking in the background. Startled, they immediately looked around, but no one was there. To this day, the strange presence in the photo remains unexplained. Two vloggers were walking through a snowy forest at night when their casual stroll suddenly came to a halt as they heard an unusual sound deep within the woods. Curious, they decided to investigate. Switching on their night vision camera, they spotted someone moving among the trees, covered in what appeared to be a large blanket. Suspicious, they followed the figure to a parked car, but by the time they got there, the person had vanished. The vloggers couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Was this person hiding a body in the forest? Then again, the vloggers were also wandering around aimlessly. But that blanket, what was that about? A hiker got lost in the dense fog of Dumpling Mountain in Alaska's Katmai National Park. Fortunately, he stumbled upon a live bear camera feed during Fat Bear Week. Chelsea Pruitt, a dedicated bear watcher, noticed the hiker mouthing "Help me" and "Lost," and quickly alerted Explore.org, which contacted park rangers.
I've been keeping keeping a close eye on that camera that day and saw no bears, but I did see a distressed man. We were able to get rangers up there within 2 hours. There's the fact he found it at all was a miracle, and that he waited for help to come. I mean, he did all the right things that a lost hiker should do, and he saved his own life.
Within 2 hours, the ranger located him at the camera site, safe and unharmed. Had he not wandered in that exact direction, things could have ended very differently. A true miracle. A mother and her child were playing in a park when she had one of the most terrifying experiences a parent could face.
There ain't nobody else out here at this park but me and my son. Brought him out here to play. I'm over there on the swing, and I look over here. What the fuck? Y'all. I think it's time for Prince. Come on, baby. We're about to go.
A person dressed entirely in black was peeking from behind a tree, watching the kid. The figure never moved. It just stood there, motionless, even as she drove out of the parking lot. It was as if it was waiting for something. Who was this figure? What was its intention? This man was out for a walk in nature when he unknowingly wandered into a massive colony of spiders. Surprisingly, he remained calm, almost as if this wasn't his first time. Now, imagine all those tiny critters crawling over you. Would you stay that relaxed? An Indonesian dirt biker set off on a forest trail adventure, but as he ventured deeper, he realized he wasn't alone. Unbeknownst to him, his camera had captured an unknown figure in a tree, silently watching.
Astaghfirullahaladzim. Astaghfirullahaladzim. Astaghfirullahaladzim.
Oblivious, he rode on, eventually stopping to explore on foot. That's when he saw it.
Stop.
Panic set in and he sprinted back to his bike, but just as he tried to escape, his engine mysteriously stalled. After struggling to restart it, he finally sped off, only to find himself back at the same eerie spot. The figure was still there, not moving, just staring, and for a moment he stared back at it, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. But then it moved.
Astaghfirullahaladzim. Coy. Ini pohon kompet anjir di ranting pohon, cuk.
He quickly took off, thinking, whatever that thing was, it was nothing he wanted to understand. In July 2016, YouTuber LPZ went on a camping trip, just like many times before, but this time things took a frightening turn. At 2 a.m., he was shaken awake by something. His suspicions was confirmed at dawn. A lion was near his campsite. The night passed in eerie silence, broken only by the occasional roar of the lion. By daylight, the lion was still roaming near his tent. Fortunately, the lion eventually wandered off into the wilderness, allowing LPZ to safely make his way back to his car. A Twitch streamer was live while walking in Taiwan when viewers spotted something deeply unsettling. A man in black, wearing a hood and a face mask, repeatedly appeared in her stream. No matter how far she walked, he stayed in the background, deliberately staying within her sight. As the stream progressed, his presence became more unsettling. But when the streamer moved, the man reappeared.
He's all the way there, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna like wait. It's more sus and scary because he's like, we cannot see his face at all. He doesn't even talk to me. He just like follows. Look, he's just there. Did he hide in the bush? Did he hide in the bush? I will confront him when I arrive at one of the places where there are more people, if he's still following there. Because right now it's just me and him. I don't want to confront the person when it's just 1 versus 1.
For hours, this continued, until she spotted a police car and decided to explain her situation to them. The officers confronted the man, and the streamer later revealed more information. He wasn't just a random stranger, but his identity and intentions were still unclear. Ricardo de Canela, a 52-year-old from Brazil's Timbé-Dul municipality, was all set for an exciting hang gliding adventure. Hang gliding is similar to paragliding, but with a fixed-wing glider, promising an adrenaline rush. An onlooker filmed his flight, unaware they were about to capture a tragic event.
Meu Deus, minha Nossa Senhora! Ai, alguém segura meu cachorro!
Mid-air, the glider broke and Ricardo fell tragically. The incident raised many questions, but to this day, no solid explanation has been given for the glider's failure. It was a devastating tragedy that should never have happened. It left the onlookers traumatized. Zach and A, the duo behind the YouTube channel Nomadic Habits, travel full-time in their Sprinter van with their dogs. But on January 24th, while camping in Texas, they found themselves in a terrifying situation.
I'm freaking out.
The warning will be bound to expire.
See? Warnings are expiring.
No, it's not. It's not. It's still there. It's still on the radar. Up north of us, it's expired. But like on top of us, look at that. It's on top of us. That one has not expired. That warning that's right there has not expired. I'm serious. They're all around us right now. Babe, seriously. Where do we go? What do we do?
It's coming right at us.
Dad, what do we do?
We calm down. That's what we do.
And complete destruction is possible.
That's a tornado.
Stop!
Move!
Stop!
Get in the back!
Stop!
Get in the back!
Stop!
Get in the back!
Stop!
Get down Marlin!
Around 4:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's only around 4:50.
With tornado sirens blaring and chaos unfolding, they decided to abandon their van. Fortunately, Zach, A, and their dogs made it through unharmed. A family set out to investigate a supposedly haunted cemetery. As they approached, they found a lifeless animal lying near a tree, adding an eerie vibe to their exploration. They moved forward, recording some tombstones, until his family noticed something.
No, 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 esto de no creer, esto de no creer, vamos. Corran, 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 corran.
Did you see that small, ghostly figure moving slowly? Panic set in, and they quickly distanced themselves from the mysterious being. But curiosity lingered, and they turned back for one last glimpse.
Ahí se ve, ahí se ve. La verdad que se mueve, está en movimiento. La verdad que Jesús de Nazaret. No, no, vamos, corran, corran.
Was it really a ghost? In October 2009, Bobby, his wife Sherilyn, and their 6-year-old daughter Madison vanished without a trace while searching for a new home in a remote area. Before their disappearance, the Jamesons believed their home was haunted. Weeks later, their truck was discovered in a deserted spot, still containing their belongings, cell phones, cash, and even their malnourished dog. But the family was nowhere to be found. Inside the truck, they found this photo of Madison. Some mentioned she looked happy, while others thought she was closer to tears, causing debate, with some suggesting this could be evidence of foul play. When police checked the security footage before their trip, it showed the family loading and unloading their truck in an almost trance-like state. Then, in November 2013, more than 4 years after they went missing, their skeletal remains were discovered by 2 hunters in a remote area of Latimer County, less than 3 miles from where their truck had been abandoned.
Only on 5 tonight, an Oklahoma mother may finally get the peace she has been waiting for.
Her son has been missing for 4 years now, but this weekend, a possible break. Sky 5 flew over the Sands Boys Mountains where hunters found the skeletal remains of 2 adults and a child. This is the same area where Bobby and Sherilyn Jameson disappeared with their young daughter. KOCO's Kim Passoff spoke to Bobby's mother about her long wait for answers.
Yet, to this day, the cause of death remains a mystery. A man was walking through a dense forest when he suddenly froze in fear. His heart pounded as he spotted something unusual moving between the trees. Panicked but curious, he quickly took out his phone and began recording. Hiding behind a tree, he captured a few seconds of a large, hairy figure walking slowly through the woods. The short clip quickly spread across social media, with many claiming it as proof of Bigfoot's existence. While the figure does resemble the famous cryptid, the poor video quality leaves much to speculation. A British hiker known as El Guero Inglés on social media found himself lost in the Peruvian mountains while trekking the Santa Cruz circuit near Juarez. On the second day of his journey, he got separated from his group and struggled to navigate through thick fog, snow, and ice while attempting to reach the Puente Union Pass at 15,000 feet. Just when he was alone and uncertain, a stray dog emerged from the mist.
Hey! What on earth are you doing up here? How'd you get here? How'd you get here? You're at 4,600 meters. Got a new guide. I've lost my guide. This isn't my new guide. We need to go somewhere up there. Okay, you lead the way. Go. Come on. Let's go. If we get lost, I'm blaming you, huh? You're in charge now. There's no one left. Creo que este perro no entiende inglés. Se ha ido. Estoy perdido. ¿Dónde estoy? Perrito. Te necesito. Perrito, no me dejes. Es el perrito maldito. Me dejaste. Me dejaste. Pensaba que estábamos en esto juntos. ¿Qué haces aquí? Mira. Punto de unión. Y hay un perro. Bueno, llegamos al pico. No gracias a este, ¿eh? Me dejó. ¿Por qué me dejaste? Ah, no me quiere mirar. Compártate bien. Estamos grabando, güey. Back with Maldito Perrito. We made it to camp. It's water under the bridge. I've forgiven him for ditching me at the top. And we're both just happy to have made it. Perrito.
Without hesitation, the dog began leading the way, instinctively guiding him along the safest paths. In the end, the loyal companion led him to a sign pointing towards his destination, Puente Union. The Brit explained that when they reached the top, their pair simply waited in silence together for the other hikers to arrive. While camping in the forest, this man stumbled upon something you don't want to find: an eerie mask with an unsettling design lying in the mud. There was no clue as to who it belonged to, but something about it felt off. Was it just a discarded prop, or had it been used for something far more sinister? This person was enjoying the serene beauty of the forest, unaware that they weren't alone. As they filmed the scenery, something in the distance caught their attention. At first, it appeared to be a large bear hiding among the trees, but as the camera zoomed in, it became clear this was no bear. Some speculated it could be an orangutan, but orangutans don't grow that large and certainly don't live in that area. The person who filmed it stood there for a while, observing the creature, which never left. Eventually, they had to accept that the mystery might never be solved and left. But the question still lingers in their mind. What was it? A TikToker was passing by a park at 3 a.m. when they saw this. A figure swinging violently on a swing set, looping over the top with unnatural force. What made it even more unsettling was how the figure barely seemed to move, giving it a ghostly, almost weightless appearance. The timing, 3 a.m., often called the witching hour, only added to the mystery, as many believe paranormal activity is most likely at this time. Filming from a safe distance, the TikToker quickly ran off, later posting the video in hopes that someone on TikTok could offer a logical explanation. A group of men were deep in the forest when they noticed something terrifying. A towering figure standing on two legs, staring right at them. Panic set in immediately. Shouting in fear, they went to their vehicle, desperate to escape. But as they sped off, they were met with a chilling sight. The creature was already ahead of them on the road. Then the footage abruptly cut off. Could this be a real encounter with something unknown, or was it all staged? While walking home from a camping trip in the Czech countryside, a Reddit user and his friend encountered something strange. About 500 meters from the village, they noticed 2 or 3 small lights flickering in a nearby field. It wasn't car headlights. There was no traffic at that hour. The lights seemed almost like signals. Suddenly, they heard this.
Že jo?
Ty pičo.
Čo je to?
Co ti jebe, kámo? To znělo jak se přiblížilo.
Jo, právě.
Ty pičo.
Kámo, kameraman, never dies.
Já teď nemám klasy. No piči.
At first they thought it might be birds, but at 11 p.m, unlikely. Even when they tossed a stick toward the source, the noises didn't stop. Instead, they grew louder and seemed to move closer. Later, research led them to a possible explanation: electromagnetic waves caused by solar particles. But what about those lights? A Reddit user shared a security camera video captured at their family home in the woods. The footage showed a strange, unrecognizable figure staring directly at the camera. The video was triggered by a motion sensor and later zoomed in, showing only the corner of a shed and darkness. If any footage of the figure's movements before or after was captured, it wasn't shared, but it's likely they would have posted it if it was so. In the post, the Redditor mentioned that 3 people had passed on the property, one of whom shot himself. They're now wondering if this strange figure has anything to do with it. A YouTuber known for his solo camping adventures set out on a trip with a friend, but this time things weren't as peaceful as usual.
So this is freaking crazy. So this morning, it was like 5:30 or 6 in the morning. I was sleeping and I felt the camper shake, and we're supposed to have a friend driving by on the highway right out here. And I thought it was my friend messing with me, trying to get in the camper and all that, and I just ignored him. I just didn't want to, I was sleeping. And all of a sudden I heard Max yelling outside, like, "Hey man, what are you doing? Get off there!" Like just screaming at him and like threatening the guy. And the guy was crazy. He had freaking socks on. He had no shoes, looked all messed up. And the dude was trying to break into this camper while I was sleeping in it. And I mean, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Like I have no idea where he walked from, Like, I have no idea at all. And turns out he had broken into Max's truck. He was sitting in the front seat. The front seat's all soaked. There's blood all over the floor. He started opening up Max's chips and stuff and eating his chips. And then he climbed to the porch and was trying to get in here. So anyway, Max and I kicked him out of here, and he walked up to the road and was trying to break into a school bus. There's a school bus going to pick kids up right up there on the highway, and the school bus is chilling right up there, and the dude was trying to break in. So the school bus guy called the cops. And so this is crazy. Some guy tried to break into my camper, and the cops are here now, obviously, and the cops just grabbed him. So
despite the frightening experience, he still had a great time and continued his camping adventures, though next time he'd be better prepared. While exploring an abandoned mineshaft, a man unexpectedly captured movement. A white figure gliding through the confined space. Some suggest it could be an owl or a bat. Owls often seek shelter in dark places during the day, while bats commonly roost in quiet, enclosed spaces. So while it's probably nothing mysterious, the confusion is understandable. Eric, the creator of Nomadic Fanatic, arrived at his reserved campsite in July 2022, expecting a peaceful trip. However, it turned out to be anything but that.
And I rolled into my campsite and noticed that several of my things were moved, like my chair and my tripod, and people were setting up camp in my campsite. Be bad at confrontation, just so you guys know, but my tripod, that was where they're putting their tent and blocking me in, and then they got a four-wheeler and a cooler. Apparently they just had to camp right on top of me in my actual campsite here. Then in front of my RV, you got these 3 boys setting up their tent right in front of my RV also. So when I rolled in, I was a little frustrated at what I saw, because they even had a vehicle kind of blocking the entrance into where my RV was at. But I got out of the car, and I think my exact words are, "Wow, you guys just had to just camp right on top of me where I'm camping in my personal site?" And they said, "Oh, it's too full everywhere else." I said, "Well, it got really full here. You moved my camping chair and my tripod, and you just set up camp in my camp." The really messed up part about it is I'm so bad at confrontations that I don't even know how to leave if I wanted to. Like, what would I do? How would I say it? Would I just not talk to him, hook up the car, and just pack up? It's okay, Opie. Well, I'm glad that was a fun teaching moment for that family of a-holes. Hey kids, if we get here late and people are already set up, just set up on top of them and make as much noise as possible, be as rude as possible, because that's what camping's all about.
Despite enduring the group's disruptive behavior, Eric felt as though they were doing everything they could to frustrate him. Eventually, he reached his limit and decided to leave before nightfall, unsure of how they would act in the dark of night. The next day, news broke that one of the campers had been found lifeless at the bottom of a cliff. Eric was shocked and realized that no matter the frustration, no one deserves such a fate, and he was thankful for his decision to leave. A biker was riding through the forest when he spotted a bear and decided to stop for a closer look, not expecting what happened next. The bear suddenly charged, sending a rush of fear through him. He quickly started the engine and sped off, just narrowly escaping. The bear loomed behind him, but he didn't dare look back. While hiking in Joshua Tree, California, this man noticed a small, dug-up burial site in the middle of the desert. The disturbed dirt suggested it had been placed recently, with a small jar partially unearthed. He speculated it might contain ashes, but the reason behind its placement or why it was left exposed remained a mystery. Many warned him not to touch or open the jar. Nobody knew exactly what it was used for, and some believed it might have been part of a dark ritual or even haunted. Two explorers in the UK visited a graveyard late one night, hoping to capture some eerie photos. As they wandered through the cemetery, they noticed something unusual near one of the tombs and decided to take a picture. But when they reviewed the photo later, they saw something strange. A figure that appeared to be touching the tombstone. At first they thought it might be smoke, but there was no fire, and neither of them had been smoking. While some dismissed it as a mysterious cloud, others in the paranormal community believe it could be the spirit of the person buried there. Instagram user HaneFishKeeper was out fishing when they stumbled upon a truly unsettling sight and shared a reel on their account. The video quickly sparked debate over the massive creature lurking below. Some believe it's just a giant crocodile, while others argue it's far too big and behaves differently with its prey. They suspect it could be something entirely unknown, perhaps a prehistoric or undiscovered sea monster. But whatever it is, one thing is certain. It's absolutely terrifying. Two women were walking down a quiet road, surrounded by forest, laughing and recording silly videos. But suddenly, one of them stopped, staring into the darkness.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Something was lurking in the shadows, and it began charging toward them. Terrified, they ran and luckily made it to safety. But the mystery of what or who had tried to attack them that night remains unsolved. All they have is this blurry image. Now, for more chills, watch this next video.